AITA for how I acted towards an obese lady on my flight who was taking up half of my seat. AITA for how I acted on my flight toward an obese woman. For context, I, 24F, was on a direct flight that was 5 hours to Florida last week with my BF, 24M. He is 6 feet 4 inches, so I booked seats with extra leg room, and so we'd sit next to each other because I have terrible, and I mean awful, flight anxiety. It cost an extra $150 for these accommodations, which I had no problem paying. My problem was the person who booked the window seat was severely obese. I personally don't have any issues with people being obese. I know mental health issues, genetics, etc., can cause weight issues, and I'd never put someone down for that. But this lady's body was seriously spewing over the armrest and onto my lap. It was extremely uncomfortable and sweaty, and I was in pain from being pushed into the plastic armrest. She was so wide I had to turn my legs into my boyfriend's legs to make room for her legs. I only got to use one half of my seat because she took up the other half. I didn't want to embarrass her, so before we took off, I got out of my seat and spoke to a flight attendant privately and explained to her my situation. She offered me a seat in first class. However, because of my severe flight anxiety, I wanted to sit with my boyfriend, and I had already paid all the extra money for these seats to be booked together and for the legroom. The flight attendant explained there were no extra seats big enough for this lady to sit without making other passengers uncomfortable. She needed 2 seats, and there weren't 2 seats together available, only the one in first class. Now, as I'm still talking to the attendant and she's trying to figure something out, the entire plane is now seated and can clearly tell what is going on. I can tell the lady in my seat is embarrassed. I swallowed my pride and took the seat in first class and took 2 of my anxiety pills and knocked myself out to get through the flight. Otherwise, they would have had to ask the lady to get off the plane. My BF told me the lady in my seat cried the entire time and called her mom on the phone, extremely distraught. Was there a better way to go about all of this? I've felt awful since. AITA? Edit. Since everyone keeps asking, the first class seats on this flight were not big at all, only a couple of inches bigger than the regular economy seat. The lady would not have fit. She needed 2 seats in economy that were together. This plane was also smaller and older.